have an avatar of the company. So avatars are basically and typically fictional figures that people know and understand and they can resonate with. For example, the avatar within my company Westrum is Yoda. Why is the avatar Yoda? Because Yoda is always calm. Yoda is always calculated. Yoda is always looking at the big picture. He has a vision for what should happen. Yoda is very, very smart, right? He makes good decisions, or he tries to make the best decision. He always considers his decisions. He is the protector of his team and the universe, and we are the same. Our slogan within Westrum is creating a better tomorrow. So that's what we want to do, and that's what they're doing with the Jedi Academy and so on. We take a very active approach in the training and mentoring of our staff members, just like Yoda and the Jedi Academy does, and so on and so forth. So our mascot or our avatar is Yoda. You can have whatever mascot you want. Like, for example, let's say in your company, let's say you're a sales organization, and your goal is to hack and slash through as many different sales targets, and to be always aggressive with them, and to high five everyone whenever they make a sale, and to ring a bell, and to celebrate, and to go party, and to whatever. So maybe your avatar, if you know them, I just thought about them. A game I used to play when I was younger was Dota, Defense of the Ancients. And one character there is Davion, the Dragon Knight. So Davion is very ambitious. He is very considerate. He loves to party. He is very goal oriented. Like, hey, what do we need to do? Where do we need to go? And so on. So maybe that's your avatar. Maybe if you're very, very calm and like mental health and so on and so forth, maybe you can find a fairy pixie as your avatar. Whatever. I'm making stuff up and I'm trying to joke around. It doesn't matter what your avatar is. You just need to resonate with it. I'm gonna make another joke about Diana finds sometimes these funny memes, and they say, and she says, hey, Diana is my wife, by the way. She says, oh, this is my soul animal. And it's like whatever, a penguin eating, like trying to eat 3 fish at the same time or something like that, because she has quite an appetite, right? So whatever your avatar is, think about it, and then see what you resonate with and why you resonate with them. What are the common characteristics of that, right? What are some similar core values of that? Aaron's avatar, for example, in Laughlin is King Arthur, right? Or at least the fictional King Arthur, right? And there's a movie on it, and you can check it out, and it's just one representation of how King Arthur is, but they're very similar to Yoda, for example. You can find that avatar, and that's your action step. Find the avatar you resonate with, and then ask your team if they agree with that as well, and then see how they react to that, because you're just involving them. But the action step is to pick an avatar, right? After that, the next point we're going to go into is something that we've noticed in Westrum is vital to every single company, especially the ones that hire multiple different types of people from different backgrounds. So in our case, we hire people across 14 different time zones. Everyone, every religion, every skin color, every language that we can, find, and so on. So like we have Arabic, English, French, German, Spanish, Romanian, Hungarian, and so on. Like we have as many languages as I can think of, and basically everyone's different. Everyone has different upbringing. So something we noticed is that people act differently based on it. Even if they're in the same city, even if they were born in the same city, they might view common sense differently. So what we have in all of our companies is we call them common sense reminders. So again, these are not rules or anything like that. However, these are common sense reminders. For example, in our office, if you use the plate, because we have a kitchen and and so on, and you can do whatever you want. If you use the plate to have your lunch or whatever, you are responsible for cleaning that plate and putting it to dry. That's it. You don't need to wait until it dries and then put it back, but you at least need to wash it and put it back to dry. That's a common sense reminder that we had to implement, because I was coming to the office and there was a stack of dirty dishes in the sink. I was like, how can we have 20 dirty dishes in the sink when we have 4 people coming to the office? And I asked them and they're like, well, we know that the cleaning lady comes once a week, so we just don't wash our dishes and we just use new dishes every time. And like, I perfectly get your rationale on the subject, and I also disagree with it. Wash your plates, and I don't want to see this mess and these smells when I go into the kitchen. When I come to the office, I want everything to look great. I don't mind if you guys don't mop the floor or don't, put everything in order, but I don't want to sense that smell when I go into the kitchen. So that's one common sense reminder. Just like that, you can have as many common sense reminders as you want to. Another one we use digitally as remote teams is that if someone is not going to make a meeting on time, they are responsible for saying that they are going to be late or they might be late before the meeting starts. So if you are 5 minutes into the meeting and you have not told anyone that you're going to be late, that's a problem in our company. Again, in our company, that's a problem, because we have a common sense reminder. This is a principle that if you're going to be late to meeting, or you might be late to meeting, you need to let us know. And in critical situations, because we have people coming up with all types of stupid excuses. However, in critical situations, when you literally have, let's say, a sales meeting from 3 to 3:30, and then you have a meal meeting from 3:30 to 4, you can come up with the excuse of, sorry, I was in a sales meeting, I couldn't really tell you I'm going to be late. False. On the 30-minute mark, when you realize you need a few more minutes, you gotta have just open Slack, open that place, and then just open the channel and just say, guys, on a sales meeting, we'll be 5 minutes late. Literally, it would have taken you just a few seconds, right? Even if you were in the conversation, you could have asked the other person, hey, I know we booked 30 minutes. Do you still have 5 minutes for us to wrap up before we go on? And they can say, yes, okay, just give me 1 second. I want to tell the team that I'm going to be 5 minutes late, and so on. Professional courtesy is professional courtesy. And in Westrum and in my other companies, we need to keep that, right? That's the common sense reminder. So just like that, your action step is to come up with everything that annoys you in your business, or everything that you want to see in place in your business as, hey, this is how we operate here, right? These are the common sense reminders that they're common sense to me, and I think they're common sense to you. However, I'm not going to assume that they are. What I'm going to make sure is that we are all on the same place, on the same page with what common sense is in this company.